If you're looking for a beginner video on how to generate leads for your company and what lead generation is, this is the video for you. Let's jump right into it with talking about the different types of leads that we're going to be generating. Specifically, this is going to be for B2B services. So if you sell to other businesses, this video is going to be for you, specifically B2B lead generation. So let's talk about the different types of leads that are coming into your business. So the first type is a cold lead. This person does not know who you are. You are reaching out to them for the first time. This is the first time they're seeing you. They may or may not need your service. The second type is a warm lead. This is somebody who opted in through an ad or they found your website online while they're searching. They already know who you are and they kind of want your stuff. This distinction is going to be important as I talk to you about the different ways that you can generate leads, the different websites, the different advertising methods that you can use, cold and warm. Obviously, warm leads are better. They're more likely to convert. They're more likely to get on a sales call and know what they want. Cold leads, not as good, but you can't just rely on warm leads, especially when you're starting out. Getting a good supply of those cold leads is going to be essential for you to scale and get to a point where people know who you are and they come and they already know that they want your service. All right, now let's dive into some of the ways that you can generate leads for your business. So number one, and this is my personal favorite, however, it can be frowned upon and has a negative connotation to it, but I highly encourage you, especially if you're starting out with lead generation, to get really good at this or hire someone that is. And that is cold outbound lead generation. That is messaging people who don't know who you are, letting them know what you do, who you help, and offering to tell them more, on, whether that be on a demo or on a sales call. Now, this takes a lot of different forms. You can be messaging people on LinkedIn. You can be sending them a cold email. And if you want to learn more about that, there's more videos on my channel. You can send them, you can cold call them. So give them a call, let them know what you do. You can do voicemail drops. You can do SMS blasts. There's a lot of different ways to reach out to people on cold outbound messaging. Instagram DMs. All of these are essentially free ways to generate leads for your company. And you can scale this up and automate it so that you don't have to sit there and message people automatically. There's software that helps you do that, such as Instantly.ai for cold email or Meet Alfred for LinkedIn. All of these tools are going to be down in the free doc available in the show notes here. All right, let's talk about my second favorite form of lead generation and one that almost every business relies on, and that is paid advertising. I'm also going to split this one into two buckets, warm and cold, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. So this can cost money, obviously, it's paid advertising, but I don't just mean that. I mean, if you're going to start putting money into your ads, you better be ready to pour money into your ads. Most people aren't good at this right away, and it takes a lot of experimenting and training your pixel until you get profitable ads that are generating leads that are worth the value to you. So the major platforms where you can pay for lead generation are Facebook and Instagram. Obviously, this is the most common one. It's also, in my experience, one of the most effective, so you should definitely be doing this. So let's start on this one, Facebook and Instagram advertising, because it is such a behemoth. They actually have internal lead form ads. This is a form that you fill out on Facebook or Instagram, makes it really seamless, and is actually a really cheap way to generate leads. You can also run that traffic to a landing page and optimize that landing page to convert and get you nice and cheap leads too. Now, if you're going to advertise on Facebook and Instagram, this is really important to know. This is cold leads. They don't know who you are. You spark their interest. They clicked. Maybe they know a little bit, but they don't necessarily need your service. You're going to do everything that you can to target people that you think might, but this is the first time they're hearing of you, and they may or may not need you because they're not looking for you. So this is still considered kind of a cold lead. They're not going to convert as well into customers. They're not going to convert as well into calls, and the calls are not going to be as high quality as a warm lead. It's just important to know, but you'll usually end up paying a lot less for that lead. So that's the benefit. If you're going to do Facebook and Instagram advertising, be ready to spend a lot of money experimenting and getting it wrong, especially if you're starting out. This is not a cheap thing to do, and it's not just I'm going to make ads and put money behind it and it's going to work. It's going to take a lot of work. The second form of paid advertising, and this is search advertising. This means advertising on Google, advertising on YouTube, where people are actually searching for something. So for example, say you're searching for lead generation services and you're going to Google and you type in lead generation agency. Then you see my search ad right at the top. That's a Google AdWords ad. You click on that sponsored link. It takes you to our website with an opt-in form and you opt in. Now you're a warm lead because you're looking for that service. You're eager to buy. You're more likely to convert. You're more likely to get on a call, and it's probably going to be a better call. Same thing with YouTube. They have the same same search function. So when people are searching on YouTube for something or searching on Google for something, you can show them a YouTube ad and that person's going to typically have higher intent. Now there's other platforms that you can do paid advertising on. Of course, there's LinkedIn, there's TikTok, there's Pinterest if you're doing B2C. I'll just touch on them for a second. LinkedIn, very expensive to get right if you're doing very high ticket, and it's going to be to decision makers, thought leaders, people you need to hyper target. LinkedIn might be good for you. Their in-message advertising is actually relatively good. So even if you do nothing else on LinkedIn, once you dial in lead generation techniques 1 and 2, it might be worth it for you to roll out LinkedIn in-message advertising and only retargeting ads, never cold. So you'll have a LinkedIn pixel. When someone hits your website, it'll automatically track them, and boom, now you're going to hit them with a LinkedIn in-message ad. This is actually relatively effective. TikTok, surprisingly good. For us, it kind of comes and goes whether or not it's effective or not. Not as cost efficient as Facebook, but the leads are actually relatively good. If you're doing B2C and you're selling product, TikTok is going to be a gold mine for you. But for B2B, they're still kind of figuring it out. Twitter ads, I'll touch on it for just a second. They're still messing around with a lot of their user interface for advertising. Obviously, the Elon Musk thing is crazy. And if you're watching this, I recorded this on March 1st, 2023. It's still a toss-up. We don't know what's happening with Twitter ads. We tried it, wasn't effective. We stopped. Maybe we'll try again once it finds some stability. All right, let's talk about the long-term investment in lead generation. These are the things that you're going to do now and might not generate a lead for 6 to 12 months. However, if you are able to do these things correctly, they will bring in leads for life and at the lowest cost, and they will be the best leads. There's a series of things that you can do that you've probably heard of. Before I get into them, if you've found value so far, please subscribe to the channel. I am one of the foremost experts on lead generation, and I give you all of my secrets in this channel. So please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, like this video if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into the final stages of lead generation, the last strategies that you should start thinking about. In fact, you should start thinking about these early on. You should start working on them, but you should not expect them to generate leads for you very quickly. These are things like SEO, organic content, YouTube channels, and PR. Now I'm going to touch on each of these individually and let you know what I think about them, what the future looks like, and whether or not you should be investing a lot of money into them. So let's start with organic social, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm making a YouTube video for you, and honestly, no one might watch this video for another year. No one might not find my channel for another year if it blows up at all. No one might see this, and it's a lot of time, a lot of investment on my part, who's a very busy visionary for my company. However, I know the importance of it. If you can nail organic social and you can grow a following doing this, and that YouTube video gains authority and people watch it for years to come, then you are going to have a constant stream of warm, qualified leads ready to work with you at all times. And there's different levels of warm, right? There's warm, I'm looking for the service, and there's warm, I know this guy, I trust this guy, I've already learned from him, and I want to buy from him, I want to work from him. That is an effect that you can only get with organic social. That's why I highly recommend it. It's the best lead that you can get. If you're watching this video 2 years from now and I've got 1 million views on this video and you're familiar with the channel and you already love me, what are the chances that you're going to buy from me? Pretty high, right? So I definitely recommend starting to invest in this early. YouTube, I think, is an awesome channel to do that. Building an Instagram audience, same. TikTok, I would say choose one channel first, get really good at it, and you can repurpose content across platforms now. Obviously, short videos you can do on Instagram, you can do on YouTube, you can do on TikTok, you can even do on Snapchat and Twitter now. So start doing that organic social, start figuring it out, and I promise you it will pay off as long as you stay at it and you're good at it. All right, number 2 in the final strategies is SEO, search engine optimization. This is where do you rank when somebody types in, I want lead generation services on Google. Obviously, there's the sponsored ads first, but under that, it's all search engine optimization. It's what's ranking on that first page. Now, this is something that a lot of businesses think they need, SEO. This is probably one of the longest plays in marketing. If you try and start an SEO plan now, it might not pay off for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or not at all. Depending on how competitive your search phrases are, depending on your industry, you might never rank on page 1 or 2. You might never get traffic from this. However, again, when you do, or if you do, it will be bringing in website traffic and leads forever. And in fact, we've been doing this on our website for about 3 years, and now we get like 2,000 hits per day coming to our site from our blog, from organic search. They're typing in PR agency in Tampa. We're on page 1. So this is something that you should think about, and you should think about it soon, because the quicker you start working on it, the shorter you have to wait to start getting leads from it. But again, can be expensive, can can be time consuming, and there's a lot of fake experts in the SEO world. Be very hesitant when hiring a vendor, an agency, or a freelancer to do your SEO. You should at least have a bare minimum knowledge of SEO before hiring anybody, and subscribe to my channel to watch some SEO videos. All right, lastly, I'd like to discuss PR, and that means public relations, the media coverage that you have. Essentially, this is getting traffic from other sources. So we're a lead gen company, and now we have an article on Forbes about lead generation that links to our company website, and now people are finding us from Forbes and coming over to our website. This is a strategy that can work like crazy. And I actually own a PR company, Otter PR, that does exactly this for clients. Now, this is really cool because you get to leverage other audiences. But as we talked about with kind of the YouTube example, with building trust, building authority, you already know me, like me, trust me, the same thing goes for PR. If you read about us on Forbes, you're gonna see, wow, they're featured on Forbes, they must be really awesome, we should work with them. It's external validation, and it drives very, very warm leads. So I highly recommend starting PR once you've already built up a big company, you have a good steady stream of revenue and steady leads. Start thinking about PR. This can get very expensive. It doesn't work for everybody. You do need an innovative service, an innovative product, or a thought leader at the top of your organization that can be of value to the media. So some final thoughts. If you're just starting lead generation, I highly recommend you master cold outbound. Get really good at cold email, get really good at LinkedIn automation, even cold DMing. This is going to be the cheapest leads that you get, and you can actually get really good high quality leads from this. We do have a done for you service. If you're interested, click down in the show notes here, but get really good at this yourself. If you're trying to save a few bucks, just get started, generate some leads from nothing. Once you've got a good reliable stream from cold outbound, that's when you start experimenting with paid advertising. Now, this whole time you're working on organic social. Everybody should do this. If you're not in the 21st century, 2023, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. So start working on your organic social. SEO, plus or minus, you can wait until later. Honestly, I'm concerned with where SEO is going with AI-powered search. There might not be a page 1 or 2 at all a year from now. So I could leave that kind of in the back burner as you focus on getting really good at cold outbound, get really good at paid ads, and then finally get really good at organic social. If I had to pick a social media platform to start advertising on, it would be Facebook first, just because you can generate really inexpensive leads from Facebook, under $5 a lead. And then you can get really good at following up with them, getting your finger on the pulse of what a cold lead actually wants, and then start spending some money on Google advertising, which typically costs a lot more. For our service, we pay about $100 for a Google lead, about $5 for a Facebook lead. Obviously, they're much different qualities, and it's really important to know what a lead is worth to you, which we'll talk about in another video. All right, if you found this helpful, please like this video, please subscribe. Please watch more videos on lead generation on my channel. There is no way to get better at this without consuming knowledge, and I give you everything, all of my secrets on this channel. So please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.